Today we are joined by one of the greatest voices in heavy metal history. We have John Bush on the show. John, of course, from Armored Saint, spent some time in Anthrax, has a new band called Category 7. What a guy, man. Just a super cool guy, amazing singer. That's no secret. He is about to go on tour celebrating the 40th anniversary of Armored Saint's Delirious Nomad record. That tour starts in September with Wasp. Runs through October with Michael Schenker, and then they have a couple headline dates of their own towards the end of that run. And then later in the year, I think it's December, John's going to go out and do a few shows covering his era with Anthrax. And his backing band is going to be Category 7. So he tells us today that Category 7 is going to get on stage and do a few songs, and then they're going to come out and they're going to celebrate John's tenure with Anthrax across those 4 studio albums that he did. Always a pleasure talking to that guy. He's so much fun, so cool, and I know the two of you have a lot of history together.
Well, and we knew all of that going in. You're stating. I'm glad that you're saying it, and that
I'm stating it for the sake of our audience, because for you and I, we've got a lot of history with him.
He's always, and just know that anytime that we tell you guys that John is going to be on the show, that we are both giddy and out of our sitting on the edge of our seats and excited and smiling, and we know we're going to laugh and have a good time because he's fun to talk to, and he loves life, and he loves what he does, and he's a happy person, and he's super talented, and if you hang out with him at all, he emotes that, and so people know. And I think that he's one of our best guests, right?
Yeah, always a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and I think that it's a perfect idea that, it should be an obvious one, that some of the Category 7 markets, since he talks about it a little bit about canceling a couple of things that Category 7 had set up, and he regrets not doing those shows because a couple of things weren't right about it. They didn't feel confident enough, and he wears his heart on his sleeve about it in this interview. So. But yeah, I think that it's a perfect way for people who missed Category 7 the first time to actually see them for real, and then also get a bonus by way of, John's, celebrating his time in Anthrax with Category 7 as the band. I heard something we didn't ask him about. I didn't want to pry. I heard Jack Gibson had a conflict, and that Joey was going to do a show, or am I confusing that with the whiskey show?
With
the whiskey show.
Might be confusing it with whiskey. Yeah.
So scratch that, Jared. You don't have to edit that out. It's just more information. It's just more information.
Right.
Exciting news we get today about what's happening in the Armored Saint camp as far as new material and the new record and such. So. Today we discuss 40th year anniversary of the brilliant Armored Saint album and tour that's coming up, Delirious Nomad celebration, as well as, the dates with Wasp, the dates with Michael Schenker, covering all of the great U.S. markets, and then the Anthrax shows will be incredible. And, he was talking about having some special guests, and I just want to say that wouldn't it be great if available, if Scotty Ian could jump up and play a couple songs with him or something, wouldn't that be, Charlie show up and do a song, they're in New York, they're playing a show in New York. Some of those guys, I know that those guys don't really live in New York, but Frank does. Frankie Bello does. Yeah, he lives out there, to my knowledge. So somebody from Anthrax jumping up, wouldn't that just make the roof blow off?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. A great wide-ranging conversation today with John. I like the fact that they're going out and celebrating the 40th anniversary of Delirious Nomad, and John gave us a lot of great insight into the making of that album. I found it really interesting to sort of hear from his perspective what was going through the band's head at that time, how he feels about that album now, and how they felt about it going in. It was produced, of course, by Max Norman, who had just kind of come off of those first couple of Ozzy records. Jason and Dangerous Toys, of course, worked with Max Norman at a later date, but really interesting insight into that album, Delirious Nomad, and I'm glad they're going out and celebrating it on tour.
It's one of my favorite records. It's obvious. I think that the more popular songs on there are probably my favorite songs. Long Before I Die, and of course, Delirious Nomad. You know what I mean? Or
Nervous Man. Yeah,
Nervous Man. Thank you. Yeah. See, even I want to call it that. So.
Yeah, yeah. It's a great album, and John was kind enough to share it with us today about the making of it and revisiting it on this upcoming tour. So
yeah, I could have talked to him. I could have talked to him about another hour about the making of that record. I don't think I realized that some of the, and it makes total sense, that a few of the songs are actually older songs from either prior to March or written during March of the Saint.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, March of the Saint. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of good insight today on Delirious Nomad and other things related. John Bush today on the Talk Louder podcast.